So hello and welcome to something different. Welcome to Wraggy's Beer Reviews. That goes without saying. Tonight I'm doing a little video to celebrate a brewery that's based in Lincolnshire. The brewery itself is at Wainfleet in Skegness. That brewery is Batemans Brewery. I've got two of their beers tonight to review, to chat about, and to chat about the brewery and a celebration of 150 years of Batemans Brewery through many generations as well. So I will read what I'll actually use the mocha one first because that's so this was a beer that came into Sainsbury's back in 2012 at the Great British Beer Hunt. Why do I know this? Because you'll know me as Wraggy's Beer Reviews, but you'll also know me as a gardener since I was the age of 10, winning East Midlands, Britain in Bloom, Entente Florale, which is like a European version of Britain in Bloom. RHS Excellence in Horticulture. Was a member of Nottingham in Bloom's design group for many years. Anyway, came away from Nottingham City Council back in 2010. Went into gardening, into retail for 5 years, working on the BWS department at Sainsbury's. First at Sainsbury's in Beeston, then at Sainsbury's in Arnold over there, and then finally towards the end at Sainsbury's at Castle Marina, and then I flipped back to Sainsbury's, and I'd had enough of the game by then. But 5 years on the booze section, absolutely loved it, and it was my first real acknowledgement of Batemans Mocha. Batemans Mocha came in as one of the entrants, a coffee chocolate beer brewed with Arabica coffee and Belgian chocolate, 6% ABV. This came in, and I think it actually won the local, if not the whole, of the competition. So the Great British Beer Hunt. Don't quote me on that. It's only from memory. It was 10 years or so ago now, so I've slept since then. So I'm going to pour this open. We're going to have a chat. I don't actually own a Batemans glass, so I will be drinking out of a glass of another brewery that means so much to me. A brewery similar to Batemans, St. Peter's, who are very much a brewery, two breweries that do good. So from Batemans Brewery, and we'll pour it out because I'm getting dry. And I'm sure Batemans Brewery and all the pubs around Lincolnshire, Yorkshire, there's some in Derbyshire. There's actually none near me in Nottingham. I live in the Sherwood area of Nottingham. So the only pub near me that actually has Batemans on the bar is Batemans XB over at the Castle Rock Brewery pub, Bread and Bitter on the Mapley Top. So it's not too far. So lovely looking pour. So it says on here, our story is one of enterprise and innovation. Always looking forward whilst remaining true to our family roots. After 4 generations, Batemans is still fiercely independent. Honesty, creativity, and gritty determination fuel our passion for our beers. A coffee and chocolate stout sensation, Mocha is brewed with genuine Arabica coffee, fine Belgian chocolate, and locally grown roasted barley malt. It is rich, enticing, and well-rounded. Go on, give your taste buds a wake-up call. 6%. Craft brewers since 1874. I will show you that on the back. And there we go. So I don't know if you can actually see that without having to zoom out. So this year is their 150th year. And I just wanted to do a little bit of a Wraggy tribute to Batemans Brewery. Obviously, Victory Ale is a 6% beer, one of theirs. Batemans XB, Batemans Triple XB, Batemans Combined Harvest. I've not had that for a while. Do intend most likely in March of this year, to drive. We're actually away on holiday in Cleethorpes for the weekend, and I do intend to drive down on one of those days, down to the brewery shop. That's if it's open on a Saturday, of course, which will when we'll be going, unless we can sneak off on Friday. I'm good for sneaking off on Friday from work, but it's my son. Go watch out for schools. um, unless they have a one of them days, what you call them, training days. So yeah, and also obviously this one, Skull and Hammer's American IPA, which is the other beer I picked up for tonight. So yeah, I've been watching this brewery from my own beer reviewer pedestal, if you can call it that. And this year I went over to Lincoln, visited some of their pubs in Lincoln. Very busy, especially the one at the top of the hill. Was that the Victoria? Didn't get to all the pubs, didn't get to the Dog and Bone, wanted to go there. Went to the one near the train station, which, and again, names, I am shocking with names at times, so I do apologise to people. But I had a couple of new beers in that pub, then walked up the hill, I don't know what that was, and got to the Victoria, and again in there, really busy. There was a steampunk festival on, but it was amazing to see the pub so busy, and so many different, shall we say, costumes. And we had a great day in Lincoln, and I mean, for me, 150 years, wow. In a time where breweries are disappearing, or in the sense of Nottingham breweries being took over by breweries, other people, and then that brewery name disappears. We locally lost Home Ales, we lost Shipston's, we lost Hardy and Anson's. Shipston's has come back in a microbrewery form, but not the powerhouse juggernaut of a brewery it was, back when my father used to drink Shipston's. So, in essence, to be able to give kudos and to join in their celebrations with a beer on January the 1st, 2024. You won't see this till tomorrow because it needs to upload. Coffee, chocolate, lovely aroma. Lincolnshire-based brewery, Lincolnshire next to Nottingham. I actually work on the Nottinghamshire border in Newark, 3 days, 2 to 3 days a week, most weeks. And sometimes I've seen the Batemans Brewery van go by me. But to 150 years, and what I love is the range of pubs they've got, literally spaced all around the Lincolnshire, Yorkshire, even Derbyshire. Strangely not really in Nottinghamshire. There is one in Retford, so technically one in Nottinghamshire, if memory serves me correctly. And do brewery tours. They do an event at the brewery. And like I say, there is a pub near the brewery as well in Wainfleet. So that is on the Wraggy radar to visit in March. I'll drive down, wife can drive back. 2 or 3 beers. It's got to be done, I don't go all that way for nothing. And if there's a food option, I'm all good. But what I also like about Batemans is, and this is something a lot of breweries don't do, and it's quite sad on them really. I've read all the stories about Batemans, about their willingness to do the right thing with their pub owners, managers, landlords, whatever they are. And that to me is what makes a great brewery. You treat. We all go through times of diversity and strife. If you don't, then you haven't lived. If you've been lucky all your life never to have suffered pain, stress, anxiety, depression, to have had bad things happen, then the only way to beat that is to learn and try and move on, try not make the same mistakes again. If it wasn't your own mistake. And from what I see on social media, just the positivity towards Batemans is absolutely stunning. For any brewery to be so well liked, that is amazing. 150 years, and obviously, I thought they were on the 5th generation now. I might be wrong. And if I'm right, it's Stuart. And I haven't got no things telling me people's names. I haven't even got my other phone with me for help with, or even my laptop. I don't even know where my laptop is. Just to get hints and just refresh my memory of some things I was going to say. But yeah. So this year, from what I've seen already, and what I love is it looks like it's an old-fashioned brewery. So they do the brewing. They've got a new chap called Buster doing some brewing. I mean, I even went as far down as Salisbury to the Wetherspoons there, and there was 2 beers from. There's a collaboration with an American brewery from Batemans, and there was one of theirs there, another one there. So even all the way down as far as Sainsbury in the Wetherspoons, I managed to get hold of some Batemans beer. And it's this funny thing, sometimes with a brewery, you just, if I like a brewery, if I like people, then I'm willing on this channel to, wow, it's raining, just to really push them, I mean, they don't need my pushing. They don't need anything from Wraggy's Beer Reviews. But it's a nice thing to give back to breweries who produce some great beer. And this beer coming into to Sainsbury's for the Great British Beer Hunt, alongside Castle Rock's Screech Owl and Blue Monkey's 99 Red Baboons, which I only reviewed a few days ago. Screech Owl I actually drank yesterday in a pub in Beeston. Our little pre-New Year meet-up with the Happy Drinkers, although wife wasn't very well, so we had to bail quite quickly. But my Cocker Spaniel, Pepper, she loved Screech Owl, so there's a blessing. And talking about those breweries, is it really the world of beer, which is, it's an amazing world at times. Because like Castle Rock's pub, literally the one nearest to me, has Bateman's XB on the bar, always. But Blue Monkey, the other entrant in that same competition, for locally anyway, there was entrants from all across the UK. But Blue Monkey have recently been doing collaborations with Batemans, and they've also had quite a few from the Batemans range on the bar over at the Organ Grinder in Arnold, which, because there's not a Batemans pub near me, it was like, oh, I've got to go. And it's a kind of a magnet. Beer is great for people who want to socialise. There are the drinkers out there who want to drink of their favourite beer, like Bateman's XP, Bateman's Triple XP, and so on. That's their beer. They'll go to the pub for that beer. They're there for the beer. They're there for the socialising. We must not forget that pubs are a lifeline to lonely people. to people to go out to a pub and just randomly chat to somebody they don't even know, and have a nice drink in a safe environment, eat some nice food, friendly staff. All these things make pubs and the brewery business what it is, and it's the reason why I do beer reviews. Wow, it's coming down there. 150 years. Wow. Now, if I remember rightly, it was George Bateman, a farmer, who bought the business originally back in 1874. I had to look at the back of the bottle there. And, over the years, to hand it down to your children, to carry on that family business, it's a lovely thing. The brewing world has changed, obviously, quite a lot over the years. I would assume it's a tougher world than it used to be years and years ago. Duty plays quite the problematic bit. But it'll be interesting this year. Now, from an outsider, it'll be interesting this year to see what Batemans do. To relive some of those older beers that were released donkeys years ago, to bring them back in a modern way, obviously. But this if I was said head brewer at Batemans Brewery, and the boss, obviously, to bring back these beers and to, relive the beers of yesteryear from each generation. So many beers from each generation, to bring back the beers in a small batch, even if it's a small batch bottle release, certainly on cask. And I'm sure the likes of, the Wetherspoons, of course, I'm sure they would be interested, because if Bateman's already supplied to Wetherspoons, I'm sure there's a relationship there. But me myself, I'm looking to put whatever the date is in the diary when it comes up, to put that date in the diary. Get me and Mrs. Wraggy to get someone to look after the dog, or even buy a tent, and go over nearby, or get one of these overnight stays. Go over nearby, stop over for the party, the Batemans party. I can't remember the name of it, so you'll have to excuse my ignorance. So, it's chilled in the shed. Room temperature's king for Mocha. 6%. Can't feel the ABV on this. Nice to see it still is 6%. Nice to see that Batemans are not lowering the ABV down. I know that duty is a crippler these days. Cost of ingredients is a crippler. But I see breweries across the UK lessening their quality of beer, lowering the ABV, using cheap methods like glucose. And I won't mention the breweries on here, but they have destroyed their brand. And that, to me, in honesty, integrity, creativity, they are the things. As somebody like me who values, and on art, honesty, and gritty determination, a family ethos, and a friendly ethos as well, being friends. Business is business. I mean, I'm not a businessman, thank God, and I won't want to make tough decisions. It's not easy in this world. Oh dear, the weather. So, chocolatey, coffee, easy drinking. Not the best temperature in the shed for it, gotta be honest. I bought it down too early in the day to drink it, but fantastic beer. From Batemans all day long. Good 4.4 out of 5. A must-try supermarket beer. You can get it in Sainsbury's again now. That's where I got it from the other day. I think it was about £2 a bottle, £1.95 a bottle. Stunning price. Got to be honest these days. Check out your breweries for your beers above supermarkets, because I think you'll find these days that the difference in prices between supermarket and straight from the brewery is actually next to nothing. And certainly if you live nearby in that area of the world, the Wainfleet area, get yourself to the shop. I intend to, and take a few videos as well that day. Do some beer reviews, as you do. Yeah, it's one reason they wanted Cleethorpes, my happy drinkers, the wife, and the happy drinkers, and it's an hour away from Cleethorpes, but it's 2 hours. It's about 2 hours from Nottingham. So, but we're already that area, so it's not too far to drive. Lovely beer. Let's move on to the next beer. So, and I could have chose Victory Ale or Triple XP for this, but I wanted to go down what is their craft beer route. So Skull and Hammers, Salem Brew Co. I'll read on the bottle. Brewed with Chinook, Cascade, and Citra hops. 5.5%, contains barley and whatever. Know your limits. Yeah. As fourth generation craft brewers, our adventurous streak at Salem Bridge Brewery is what keeps us thirsty for more. Being one of the first breweries in the UK to focus on small batch production, we're now driving our beer evolution through Salem Brew Co. This pale, hoppy small batch American IPA is brewed and lay topped with American hops to produce an aromatic nose, citrus taste and piney finish. Salem Brew Co., Salem Bridge Brewery, Mill Lane, Wainfleet, Lincolnshire. PE24, PE, is that Peterborough? 24 4JE, England, salembrewco.com. So, if you know that, then you'll know that Skull and Hammers is Batemans Brewery's craft beer arm. Now I know this, but it's nice because there was somebody who made a comment the other day. Oh, Batemans are modern traditional brewery, and that they are, but they also do a craft element, albeit in bottles. And this is something that, the perception of beer in bottles isn't craft. And across the UK, let's be fair, it's not easy to tell sometimes the difference between some brewers call themselves full-on craft and some don't. I look at this as the bridge between modern traditional and craft. Not full-on heavy craft beers where the hops going in, are just come out of a thick, hazy, orangey beer. The breweries. I don't need to tell you. This, to me, is more of a modern traditional hybrid with craft. That bridge. So as we can see, it looks like a slight haze. Golden looking pour. A lovely white head on this. When it first came into, I think it was Tesco's. I remember when it came in, it was dressed on the shelves. As a beer reviewer and a fan of beer, I picked it up the second it came on. Got it home, reviewed it straight away. Possibly the first person in the UK to review it. Possibly. I think I am, but yeah, you never know. Somebody else might have done it. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, cheers. Hoppy, tropical flavours, zesty, twangy flavours. And I'm just somebody who likes a beer. I am nothing any other than that. Yeah. It's a hobby. It's a lovely hobby. Yeah. Best hobby in the world. For anybody who watches this, anybody, and it even gets to 25 minutes and still watching it, if you told your other half you're going down the shed to do a beer review, is that not the greatest excuse for a sneaky beer that you've ever come out with? Now, come on. And we're approaching 6 years of Wraggy's beer reviews. In June, I think it's June. I need to keep my eye out on the date, to be fair. I need to look back at when I started the channel. 6 years of Wraggy's beer reviews. And not too serious. Friendly. Positive. Person who likes a beer. But who puts a bit of life into the equation. We all have life. There's no getting away from life. And the journey we have, journeys. What a year for journeys. The last year, been fun. I don't ever want the issues with cars again that we had this year. But we did get married. We did have a Wraggy's Beer Festival. I got as many breweries as I could into mini kegs. I wanted more. Couldn't do it. Couldn't get key breweries that I want. Couldn't get Batemans into mini keg. Tempted to go to the pub and go and buy 9 pints and stick it in something and try and keep it carbonated. But it was such a difficult week as it was. Stress right up to 11 o'clock of that morning. Then the stress melted away. And what was a fantastic wedding. And more so, a fantastic beer festival. That, over 500 pints of beer. Whew. Anyway, back to the Batemans beer. Little bit of Wraggy chucked in there, and that's what a Wraggy review is. A little bit of something different. So this year, it's 150 years of Batemans, and when they announced the dates, because I don't know the dates. I'm not privy to that. I don't work with Batemans or anything in that. I'm just me in a shed in Nottingham, and a cold one at that. I'm no eating in it. It's cold. But when it's announced, I'm going to talk to my friends, the happy drinkers, and if they're not already doing something else, try and get over that weekend, albeit in an overnight stopover in a tent, back of the car. Yeah, not my car. It's cold. But we'll try and get over for the their big celebration, 150 years, and celebrating a brewery that sticks to their tradition and moving forward all the time. And who knows when we'll start seeing craft beer in cans from Batemans. Like all breweries, that evolution does come at some stage. Impy stouts, barley wines. I'm sure the head brewer there is already, and I suppose it's moving in. What I did notice in the pubs I went into, that the pubs were very different to Nottingham pubs, which is really, I tell you what, I've never noticed this until I've been around the country drinking in pubs. And in not just Batemans Brewery pubs, but pubs around the country, there are pubs that are traditional, where people go in, pint of beer, maybe there's a bit of a food offering, but they drink, and the beer's selling brilliantly. And then there's the pubs where you've got a lot of different, an ever-changing range of cask. And then you've got your crafty beer pubs. And then obviously you've got your lager drinking pubs, which I tend to not go in. Don't go in a pub with a bouncer on the door. Why? That bouncer on the door tells me everything I need to know about that pub, and I won't go in. It is what it is. But the weather. That is a lovely pint, you know. The funny thing is, with craft and cask and modern traditional and craft, is the fact that the brewing process is basically the same. Maybe they'll add hops at different stages and that, but it's all brewed on pretty much the same kit. So it is funny in that respect, and you notice this when you go to breweries and they're brewing their beers, and the kit is the same. There's a mash tun, there's a copper, there's a fermentation, there's conditioning tanks. Obviously, there's elements in the process that are different. Ooh, I nearly dropped my drink. I'd have cried. There's elements, and they wouldn't look great on camera, and you'd have heard me swearing, so probably a good thing I didn't. But there's elements, you know, and it's interpretation, and then obviously what goes into bottle. And if you think, for people watching who are thinking, what is he on about? If you look at something like Thornbridge and their Jaipur, it's in cask, it's in cans, it's in bottles, it's in mini keg. Same beer. It's bonkers, isn't it? In cans, it looks like a craft beer. In bottles, it looks like modern traditional. In mini keg, it's like a mini cask. And yeah, funny, isn't it? And that's the public's interpretation of craft and so on. Obviously, if it was a big, thick, orangey beer, you don't really get many of them on cask, to be fair. But lovely, full of flavour, nice twang, cracking beer. Good 4.4 out of 5 again. So, basically my appreciation of Batemans Brewery. I've rattled 32 minutes, yeah. I did drink 2 beers though. So, yeah, 150 years of Batemans Brewery. Wow. From a Nottingham person, born, bred, lived all his life in Nottingham. Maybe I should have moved abroad, but there you go. Yeah, I've never been that lucky. But yeah. But from Wraggy's Beer Reviews, well done for 150 years. Can't wait to see what happens this year. For everybody watching, you know, keep your eye on Batemans Brewery, their pubs. If you live near their pubs, go to their pubs. Go and support the pubs. Great food offerings at the pubs that do food. The staff I've encountered, amazing staff. Good selection of beer. Be interesting to see where Batemans go, maybe expand in their range. And like I say, from somebody who loves beers, I'd love to see some of them old recipes brought back, maybe small batch basis, maybe into bottles or whatever, if you can. Be amazing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon, everyone. Cheers.